What's up, guys? I have two XL STX dualies and I want to show you guys the difference between the 355 and the 410. So this is a question that has come up in the past and it's definitely something you have to consider. So these trucks are pretty much the same with the packaging, but some of the options that were chosen were different too. I'll get a little closer. Hopefully you guys can see the tires. Hopefully they are slightly different too, so we'll unpack that here in a second. I borrowed these trucks from Ken Garff Ford here in West Valley, Utah. Be sure to text Ken right here, the number's right here, and he can give you a price on these trucks if you would like to purchase it. But let's just really quickly go through the window stickers so you guys see some of the options, and then we're going to jump into the video. We're going to do a quick drive. I want to show you guys a little bit of fuel economy and the RPMs. Up first is the black truck. You guys will see all the options down below. So this one does have the standard output power stroke. Also has the all-terrain tires for 165, 355 limited slip rear axle, STX package, and just take note of some of the other features this truck has here. Now this one has the XL driver assist package for $730. And then base price $55,680, destination, and this one has a total price of $77,440. If you guys don't remember, I built this truck here in the carbonized gray and high output power stroke. Also, you guys will see this one does not have the all-terrain tires, so we'll have to take a peek at that. But the 410 rear limited slip still, and STX. I also added the heavy service front suspension because of the camper package too. So we're gonna test the drive of this truck compared to that one without it, because I keep getting that question. Some of it's on the GMC side, but still this should answer it here. 360-degree camera package, and you guys see the base price, destination, and then this one's just slightly more money. Now obviously having the 410 is going to change the RPM with these trucks, and you guys saw this is considered the heavy-duty front suspension. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. Do you see anything different here? I don't see anything. Here's the non-camper package truck on the driver's side too. Looks the exact same. Sway bars right there. Let's see. Sway bar is the same. And it could be that the springs are different, but they look like they're the same height. Can you guys see that? There's no height difference on the front end. And the leaf packs are going to be the exact same too on both trucks. You guys see that? No difference in the leaves. And I'm sure the spring rate's going to be the same. However, both trucks are going to have a sway bar out back, but you see the diff covers are going to be totally different because this truck has a 410 rear. So this one's going to have the cooling on the back of that diff cover. Look what just popped up, guys. It wasn't even asking for the truck and it popped up right next to ours. Man, I'm so excited. So now I can show you guys the F450 out back. Now you guys know these have the 10 lug 19.5-inch wheels and tires, so the rear diff is where the differences are. Man, look how God works, guys. I love this. This is so cool. Sway bar looks a little bit more bigger, and here's that 410. That looks very, very similar, but you guys can see that rear sway bar is definitely smaller in comparison. So let's go ahead and drive these trucks. I want to spend more of my time on the driver's seat, and then we don't have to worry about these airplanes flying over too. We're driving the 355 rear first, obviously because it's the highest gear, right? And then we're going to drive the 410, and then we'll drive that 430. But I know a lot of people always have that question of ride, so we'll have to answer that. And I'm so happy I get to drive these trucks back to back to back. And if you haven't done it yet, if you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I mean, it's kind of hard to get these videos, and it's a lot of work that goes into it, so it's just nice to be able to have some people support this content if they do find it beneficial. But this truck ride is amazing. The off-road tires could potentially have a softer sidewall in some cases, so just keep that in mind. Just do your research on the tires. I'll have to show you each tire because they're not the same as you guys saw. But we're going 50 miles an hour. We're in 9th gear. This is the benefit of having the 355. If you do a lot of unloaded driving, you're gonna get the best benefit with this. So right at 65 miles an hour, we're pretty much at 1,575, give or take. That is really, really good. You guys see the engine coolant temp on my reader. Let's see if it's the exact same as what the truck is saying. You know, I actually know the answer to that because it's saying 144 here, 147 here, and I have boost on here too. And that's what's nice about Ford. Ford does give you a lot of nice information. However, Ford don't tell you like your DPF distance since the last regen. I like that. Engine oil temp 136 on the truck, and this is the exact same on this iDash. So if you want to get this, I do have a promo code down below. It shows you that the truck's not doing a regen, although the truck does show you the information too. But yeah, overall, shows us the altitude, so we're at 4,300 feet. You guys see that boost building there? Look at that. Love that. We're driving the truck now with the 410, which is the F350. And I have to admit, this truck feels a little stiffer. Not like to the point where like it's unbearable, but like you can tell that this truck has a little bit more stability. So there is a difference for sure. I have this monitor up right here. You guys see, let me go ahead and switch over to the RPM because I may not be able to get to 65 again. So, but I'm actually shocked. I was not expecting there to be a difference. And it's not, I really want to make sure I stress this. It's not a huge difference. It's just noticeably stiffer. And you guys see I'm pretty much at 1,700 RPM. It's actually not that big of a difference between the 355 and the 410. Let me stop real quick. I want to try to get up to 65 a little bit further up here. You guys see the difference in the RPM? It was like 1,750 or 70 for the 355. At 65, we're at 1,800. So it's not a big difference. If you're really concerned about fuel economy, I mean, I'd rather just go with the max tow. You're going to lose a little bit maybe, but are you going to lose so much to where you're going to see it at the pump? Probably not, because the RPM, even at 70 miles an hour, you're still under 2,000 RPM. Now, I apologize I didn't show you guys what it would be for the truck with the 355, but it was just a lot more traffic, so there's not much I can do when there's a lot of cars on the road, unfortunately. Now we're driving Big Daddy. Got the 430 with a high output power stroke, and you guys see we're at 60 miles an hour, and we're pretty much going to be over 1,700 RPM here. Yep. So when we get to 65, yeah, it's going to probably be right at 2,000, I'm betting. Just because. That 430 is going to really make a difference. I've already reset the fuel economy for this truck too. Alright, right there. So not quite 2,000, but we're at 1,900 RPM. I would say even for a truck like this, that is really good for a 430. And that 10-speed has pretty deep gears too. So we're in 10th gear as we speak. You want to see that boost? Holy smokes, 31 PSI. That was the last number I saw there, but I think it stayed in 10th gear too, by the way. At 70 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM. So that's still pretty darn good overall. If you blindfolded me and put me in this truck and told me it was a single rear wheel, I'd believe you. This highway is pretty smooth, but regardless of it, because there's no weight behind us, this truck rides really, really good. And that is the biggest benefit of having that 355. So all in all, this truck performs really good. Should I do a 0 to 60? I wasn't thinking about it. Maybe I should though. I'll do it. Fine. I'll do one for each truck. Ride is great though, guys. There's no negatives for this truck at all. So we'll see what that 410 with the camper package feels like. Here's that exit. Now, is it strange that the RPM is higher, but the temperatures are a little bit lower? I let this truck idle up more because I had to put air in the tire, although it's the tire light is still on. But you guys see that? Not bad. Now here are the fuel economy, 15.9 at the midpoint. And we're actually going through the light, so we're doing a little bit better compared to that 355 because we didn't have to stop there. But regardless of it, I gotta do the 0 to 60. And again, I'm gonna put all this footage probably together for the performance, so just hang tight for me. With the F450 and the 430, here are the temperatures. This truck came out of the shop because they just PDI'd it. And I'm just doing the PDI drive right now, basically. So I figured, hey, why not just knock it out for them, right? And 15.2 MPG. You guys saw the tire pressure too, right? These tires can be ran at 110 PSI, but you don't really need to because of the amount of weight that these tires can actually hold. I genuinely cannot tell a difference between the ride of this and the F350 with the camper package. And I think I prefer this ride the best. I like that tighter feeling personally, but you can tell there's a slight difference in the ride between the F350 with the 410 and camper package versus that F350 with the 355 without the camper package. It's just a difference. But this having the commercial grade tires, you guys see the tire pressure, right? Let's go ahead and check out the payload and the tire pressure for each truck, because that's going to obviously affect the ride performance too. Now, obviously you can get a tuner and change the tire pressure thresholds, but reality is, I think if you live in areas like this where the roads are pretty good, these trucks ride great. Now, if I was riding in the city, that could change things a little bit when you're hitting bumps and potholes, things like that. Starting off with the F350 with the 355, no camper package. You guys see the gross axle weight rating out front, it's 5,600 pounds. The rear is 9,900 pounds, 14K GVWR. And here is that payload, 5717. Tire pressure out front is 75, the rear is 65. Now let's check out the next F350 with the camper package. Front gross axle weight rating is going to be 5990. The rear is 9,900 with a 14K GVWR. And you guys see, all them payloads a little bit lower because of the options. And same tire pressure, 75, 65. For the F450, front gross axle weight rating is going to be 6,000. Rear is 9,900 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 14K. 4L axle code. And payload is 4,916 pounds. Tire pressure is 90 out front, 80 in the rear. So what did you guys learn on this? Shockingly, I thought the tire pressure was going to be higher for the camper package truck. Let's go ahead and see how the fuel economy finishes off here, and then at some point you guys will see the performance. We just pulled back in. I didn't show you guys the exhaust gas temps, but they're like over 800 degrees with this truck. But we pulled in, we're rolling in around 16.2, 16.3 MPG, 10.5 miles driven, 10.6 now. It's just all, that's why I always do it while I stop. So yeah, 10.6, 16.3. And then here is the temperature. Sorry for that glare there, but there it is. That's for the 355 truck. Just pull back in. And I'll just let you guys see where we stop at for this 410 truck. So 10.6, 15.6 mile per gallon. And then here are the temperatures. For the F450, don't be shocked at this fuel economy, right? This truck has a 430, it's heavier for sure. And there it is. 15.1, 10.7 miles driven, and here are the temperatures. Not bad. Transmission is a little warmer than I like to see, but hey, still pretty good overall for the fuel economy. Here we go.
$30, $60.
Here we go.
$30, $60.
Here we go.
$30, $60.
I was a little shocked to see the performance just now. That really shocked me. I did not expect the standard output PowerStroke to do better than these high output trucks with lower gearing. But then again, it shouldn't shock us because I'm willing to bet you torque management is a big factor when it comes down to these higher output PowerStroke engines. As far as fuel economy goes, I'm not too shocked by those numbers. It literally lined up perfectly. The standard output with the higher gearing got the best, followed next to the lower gearing 410 F350 with the 430 high output PowerStroke pretty much finishing up the rear. No shocker there. Now the tire pressure is higher on this truck. I was expecting it to be higher on that camper package truck, but I was wrong. They did not change that number. So I really would like for Ford to just make that package standard on the dualies, especially for this truck here. The ride is not enough of a difference to really matter. I don't think that most people would notice a difference. I truly noticed a difference jumping into the two different F350s, but it's not a big difference, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been wanting to do this for like probably 5 years now. This has been a video on my list and I finally checked it off. So be sure to support the content. I know you guys watch the videos, but it's time to subscribe. That way it's easier for me to get more views and get more content out to you. See you guys in the next one.